Okay, I'm going to show you how to do a So Simple gel nail. I have already prepped the nail, pushed back the cuticles and prepped the nail. At So Gel Nails we have these cotton applicators that we apply the So Simple Cleanse Plus with. This dehydrates and sanitizes the nail plate. These are real tightly woven, and so they don't leave fuzzies all over your nail. You just cleanse with that. I do all 10 nails, and then I come back and I do the primer. You want to make sure that that cleanse is completely dry before you put the primer on. We also apply the primer with the other cotton applicator. This is a protein-based primer, so it does not have any acid in it. If you touch the skin with it, it's not, it's not going to burn. It's just that nice protein base. It works as a double sticky tape, so the gel sticks to that really nicely. Make sure that you always put the lid on the primer really tight. If not, it can crystallize. I use So Simple formula. It cures in a UV or an LED. It's a one-step system, meaning this is the base, the builder. This you can mix our pigments in with and create your own custom colors. And it's also the top coat. Comes in a tube or a pot. I love the tube because it's less messy. When I'm doing nails, I either just keep it laying down. Don't go up, down with it because you can get air bubbles in it. So I'm trying to do this on my own nail. It's a little bit more tricky. But all you do is do a little thin coat. Make sure you don't have any gel on the cuticles. Now I have some LED quantum bulbs, and so I'm going to flash. When you tell your clients to flash, they don't quite understand that. Go in 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds at the most, come to the top. If they hold it out here, it's still in the light of the rays, so it's still going to continue, curing. The LED cures at a more rapid rate, obviously, and so you will feel a little more heat with the LEDs. If you have a UV lamp, you cure it for 2 minutes, and most of the time you don't feel any heat whatsoever. Some clients, of course, are more sensitive than others, but 2 minutes in a UV. In an LED, you only have to do 1 minute. On this little base coat like this, really you only need about 30 seconds because you're going to go back in anyways. And cure it again once you get your form on. So this is another reason why I like the tube. Hopefully I can stay on the camera here. So I just go right in and start forming my extension. Concentrating on just getting that connection right there. This doesn't have to be perfect. Just mainly concentrating on connecting that area so that when you file, it doesn't start flinging off. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to bring it up because it is an LED. I'm going to wait about 10 seconds. Then I'm going to go back in. Again, in an LED, this only needs 1 minute. The So Simple, it has a 5-year shelf life. It's non-yellowing. It is hypoallergenic. The So Simple does cure with a tacky layer, so that does need to be cleansed off. Anytime that you're going to start filing with your file, you want to cleanse it, and then on your final cure, you want to cleanse it really well to leave it to a high gloss shine. What else can I say about that? I told you it's hypoallergenic. I just love the tube because it's just so easy and less messy. And I'm not straining gel across my table. You know, I'm not getting dust particles in my pot. So I really do love this. If you do use the pot currently with another gel line, go ahead and, you know, order it unless you want to try the tube. But that's why we make it in both, just so for preference. Now it's probably been 1 minute. My timer is only a 2-minute. So since I'm going to file, I'm going to dip this in my Cleanse Plus. Kind of go around those cuticle areas and make sure that I've got that nice and thin before I go in with this other coat. Make sure that edge is pretty thin. Dust that really good. And I'm just going to do one thin coat. This is kind of like a float coat. But what it's going to do, it's going to tell the gel that I put on next where I want it to go. So just a thin coat so that it looks wet. It does not have to be thick. And then this part is why I love So Simple. So I go down the nail with 3 lines. When you get comfortable with it, you can do all 4 fingers at the same time. So I do the float coat on all 4 fingers, then I come back, and by the time I come back to this first nail, it's done its thing. It just self-levels. You can flip this over to get more of a arch. You can watch it. It'll just kind of pull to the center. Like I said, I do this all for fingers, but while you're getting comfortable with it, you might want to just do one at a time and then just go in and out of the light with it. And that's it. It does its thing. It goes right into where it's supposed to go. Just self-levels so beautifully. You don't have to sit there and play with it, push it around with your brush. It's a little bit thinner viscosity than a lot of other gel lines that I have tried. And I love that about it because it really does self-level. And you don't feel like you're trying to stick honey on a nail where it's sticking to the brush, and every time you pick it up it's peeking and pulling and putting little divots in it. Literally, if you do those 3 lines like that, it flows right into place like it's supposed to. At this point, after I do the 1-minute LED cure or 2-minute UV, you can mix, so simple, with our pigments. You just put a little bit on a tile and you can mix that up. When you mix them, start with less, just a little bit of pigment, just like a little, corner size little bit, and start mixing it on a tile. If it gets to feel really gritty-ish, like toothpastey gritty, then you've mixed a little bit too much pigment. You don't want to do a lot of pigment. But just mix it with that, and then you can apply it with a brush, or you can apply it with our, we have dragging tools on our site, and it works wonderfully just to apply the color with that. Or at this point, you can cleanse it, check your sides, make sure nothing has creeped there on the sides. Check your top, which this is hard to do and keep it in the camera. And you can grab your gel polish once you've got that tacky off. I like to wipe the tacky off because I don't want the gel polish running at all. If you're doing the pigment, you don't need to. But that's it. You can apply your gel polish, cure it, and then at the very end, I take another line again and I smooth it all the way, and then I cure my final cure, and that's my top coat. And it leaves it nice and shiny and beautiful, just like that. But it's the easiest gel I've ever used, and I love it. So I hope you love it too. If you have any questions, just message me back and let me know. Thanks.